What's up, guys? Welcome to the Kyber Cantina. My name is Max. We are at Sable Grove Media, where we record all of our podcasts and we do all kinds of media. So if you need a hookup, let us know. We will help you out. As always, I'm here with baby Jamie. What's up, Jamie? And of course, I'm here with Devin.
Yo!
What's up, Devin? How's it going?
It's fucking great.
Sweet. Slight change of plans. We're doing Wandavision episode 3 today. There are spoilers for Wandavision. So if you haven't seen Wandavision episode 3, I think it's called Now in Color, right?
Yeah.
Now in Color. Don't watch this. Go back and watch it first. Then you watch this.
Yeah, then come back.
Spoilers. Right. So I have a question for you, Devin.
Mm-hmm.
Wanda isn't necessarily a hero.
No.
Is she?
No. Basically, all the stories that I like, of course she was a hero in the 70s era when she truly became an Avenger and all that stuff. And you know, her and Vision were like definitely part of the team, and Quicksilver. But the bulk of the good Wanda stories, usually she just gets she's used as like this sort of unstable force that we're always negotiating what we should do with her and whether she's dangerous or not. So she's basically a villain. I mean, she never has purely evil intent, but she's a fucking problem. She's a problem.
Yeah, because you were saying in House of M, part of that is like, do we even let her live or die?
Yeah. They bring all the heroes, the Avengers and the X-Men together to decide whether they should just murder Wanda because she's too dangerous to let her live. And the Avengers and the X-Men have fought about that multiple times. And so, like, that's basically the Wanda that I know from many of the stories that I read when I was deeply reading a lot of comic books, is that Wanda is a fucked up person. She is a broken character that she's too powerful for her own good. And I feel like that's what we're setting up. I've said multiple times before that like this story is gonna get real dark at the end.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna have a happy ending because I'm trying to tie it in with movies.
Yeah, I don't think it is at all. I think that the nugget that we're getting in this little piece of storytelling is we're transitioning Wanda into a liability,
she's
a bad situation, because really she hasn't had much screen time. She's had a couple really shitty things happen to her.
Yeah. Her brother, right, which they talk about in this episode, is one of my favorite things.
She in a sense kicked off the Civil War by accidentally.
Is that right? You're talking about the Marvel Civil War, like the comic one?
No, the MCU Civil War. When she throws the dude into the building and she blows up and murders a bunch of people.
I feel like that's the straw that breaks the camel's back.
Sure.
Sokovia happened, New York happened.
But but that was one of the things that made it be like, dude, the Avengers came in to save the day and they killed a lot of people.
Yeah, Stark says she's a nuclear bomb. There's no visas for nuclear bombs.
So we're building up to this. We're building up to bad Wanda. That's where we're going with this. And I'm gonna throw this out there. Like if she's the villain of a movie later? Say what?
Like if she's the villain of a movie later?
Maybe. I don't know if we would make her full-on villain, but maybe she'll be someone on the outskirts. I don't know. I don't know entirely on that. What the grand plan is for that.
But I
couldn't tell you. But they have.
They have one. Yeah, Paul Bettany said on Twitter this is going to be like the 4th episode is where things start to pop off a little bit. And I thought there'd be 9. I think there's more than 9. I can't remember.
I thought we were 10. Maybe. I don't know.
It goes to the middle of March. Okay. So that's a lot. Okay. That's a whole lot.
But yeah, with the whole Wanda being bad thing, I think the way that this might end is Wanda breaks the universe.
Yeah, and all the multiverses become one thing.
Yeah. I think that's what we're doing. That's like a fairly like that's a thing that people say.
Right.
And I kind of I'm feeling that. I think that
her parentage and stuff. Her parentage and her whole like she's a mutant thing, it's definitely gonna come together. It could come together that way, where like there were mutants in this other place, now they're all together.
If they want to acknowledge
should we take the Fox actors? I don't know.
No. We're starting over.
I
have faith that they can make a Wolverine that's as good as Hugh Jackman's was.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing about Hugh Jackman. Every single Wolverine scene that's ever been written, shot, directed, or acted that is absolutely fucking awful is Hugh Jackman. However, every scene that is absolutely fucking gorgeous and written like to a T and acted insanely gorgeously is also Hugh Jackman.
Sure.
With that being said, it's kind of hard to get a new actor and have any kind of criticism of that actor because there's no way they could possibly do it worse or better than anything Hugh Jackman has already done, because it gets pretty bad and it gets pretty good. Yeah, and it's all Hugh Jackman.
The Wolverine was a solid, like awesome, gritty, singular movie.
Yeah, dude.
Like X-Men Origins Wolverine. Oh my God, what was happening? So yeah, I totally get it.
I'll tell you what was happening. Hugh Jackman.
Huh?
That's what was happening.
Yeah, Hugh Jackman. That's what happened, dude. That's what happened.
Yeah. He's huge. He's jacked.
But I think that's. But I think that's where this goes. Is Wanda destroys the universe. She makes it the multiverse to fold onto itself, and she creates a multiverse of madness. Yeah. That's where I got you. I got him.
Right.
So they said this ties directly into Doctor Strange. Right. I think that's what happens. Is she breaks the multiverse, and and Doctor Strange has to fix it next time.
Right.
And I think that maybe, and it still seems a little early, even though they've had the rights to the mutant characters for quite a while now.
Oh, is that right? Like, from Fox?
Yeah, yes, that whole buying Sony, them thing happened a little while ago.
They did.
So I think that might be the way that they do it. Is it's kind of like the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, these other universes. These things already exist in other timelines, or what have you, other dimensions, whatever.
It might be
and these things already exist, and she kind of folds the world onto itself and brings them to us. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, it might be better if you start it fresh, so you can have younger actors and go with them somewhere.
Sure.
Give Tom Holland some people to play with and shit.
Oh yeah.
Because he needs to grow up.
Yeah. The X-Men originally were like the world's strangest teenagers.
Yeah, right.
Originally.
Right,
so we could do that route and let them grow up and all that stuff.
The thing with those X-Men movies is the timelines are so far off, and I understand you get different actors and stuff, but like you can't expect me to believe that like McAvoy suddenly looked like Stewart in 2 years.
Their timeline doesn't make any fucking sense, man. They don't know what they were doing. But but also like a little counterpoint is just because mutants and stuff like that existed doesn't mean that there was already an X-Men team and we'll just see them fully formed. What we're saying is that like back in the 40s, Magneto, Apocalypse is technical, and Namor, but whatever. Magneto is considered like one of the first mutants that gets it rolling in World War II. So just because mutants and stuff exist in this alternate dimension that we're speaking of doesn't mean that the X-Men exist. We could take the idea of Homo superior mutants, Homo superior and Homo sapiens battling each other for supremacy in some other dimension and kind of bring it into our world, and then somehow an X-Men team gets formed. Maybe that's the way this turns out.
Yeah,
this is all just me just talking shit.
Yeah,
but who knows?
I'm gonna assume it is Magneto that came up with Homo superior, because that
sounds like a very Magneto thing to say. Come on,
Dad.
Come on, bro.
So they have Geraldine in this, and her scenes are my favorite ones. There's some stuff outside when Vision like has a conversation with his neighbors, but her stuff is cool because she keeps breaking character. Like when she says, "That was Ultron who killed your brother," right?
Right.
Like they changed the music and she's out of character, or the stork is like making that storky sound. I think is how it went. That's what Wanda does. Wanda's like, and that was really funny too.
Yeah.
Elizabeth Olsen did that really well, because they don't know when they're acting if it's what music there is. Like that lady that plays Agnes did like something phenomenal as far when she left with the bicycle and the little wink. That was all great, and in the trailer you see that with different music and it comes off differently.
Yeah,
but yeah, something's wrong. In this place.
Something's very
Geraldine
wrong.
has no home, she kept breaking character and stuff, and it was weird how sometimes the music indicates what's going on with Wanda, I think, specifically.
Right.
Maybe not how people are acting, but her.
Because when she starts kind of like when Geraldine, Monica Rambeau says the Age of Ultron thing, he got killed by Ultron. Like, yeah, the music shifts to Wanda's perspective, and then it kind of it just stays that way. It keeps all the tension and everything of the music. You know, music's powerful that way. It keeps the tension of the scene, yet on top of it, they're kind of trying to play it the same 70s sitcom way. But because the music underneath it is so different, it makes you go, I don't know, that weird combination of things, makes you feel uneasy.
They do change the aspect ratio at the end too.
Oh my god, yeah. We're talking about the aspect ratio now? That struck me up.
Yeah. At the end of the episode, if you don't know what that is, we're talking about how the screen widens and gets shorter from top to bottom. Yeah. So it looks like a movie theater. Yeah, it goes from traditional square TV style. Yeah. You know, from back in the day. Because that's the show, and not actually what's happening in Westview, which is a town. They show Westview at the end. Yeah. It's like a normal town. Yeah. And I can't remember it said "Home is what you make it." I think that's like the slogan of the town. The slogan of the town. Home is what you make it.
Oh, I didn't catch that. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. Home is what you make it. They also say like, "This is our home now" in the first one. But Geraldine has no home, like in the community. Yeah. Did they send her from outside? Who's doing this to you, Wanda? Like, is she in control? They're still, you know.
Yeah, it's still really unclear. It's a slow burn. They're unraveling it very slowly, and I mean, we're all in it, hook, line, and sinker. We know that they're gonna stick the landing. Like, we know. We've already seen all this Marvel shit play out multiple times, so they know they've got us. So they can take as slow as they want, and then shit'll really ramp up.
I mean,
but yeah. Sure, some people definitely don't feel that way, but
I mean, I'm watching Disney stock.
What?
I'm watching their stock, like as this stuff comes out, like every day, and the market was dropping the day that the first episode came out, like the first two, and it slowly went up until the next one dropped, and it went down, and so it's like trending upwards, but just something, I don't know, something I've been looking into is like, this should pick up, right? But
they start talking like we go into the twins. She has twins, as we were, you know, we were saying this was gonna happen. That more than likely, when Wanda gives birth, she's gonna have twins because twins are dope.
Right.
That's just a thing that needs to happen in the comics. And they straight up, they named them Billy and Tommy. And I didn't think that, I don't know, for some reason I didn't see that coming. They were just like, yeah, Billy and Tommy. So Billy being Wiccan and Tommy being Speed.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, Speed is kind of boring, honestly. I mean, there's Wiccan in Speed. Wiccan is actually like a pretty good, interesting character for a multitude of reasons. Speed is basically just a Quicksilver ripoff. But essentially, Speed was just kind of like in this like facility where they were experimenting on him. They were trying to turn it into a weapon. That old comic book classic shit they do all the time.
Yeah.
And then him and Billy, like they discover that they are actually long lost twins of Scarlet Witch and Vision. So Scarlet Witch just created them. Obviously, she can't have kids with a machine, so she used her hex powers, as they like to call them in the comics.
And the hexagons, dude. They call it hex powers?
Yeah.
Well, there's the hexagons, man. Right?
Yeah.
I'm down.
But yeah, like hex, like a witch puts a hex on you.
Of course.
But I feel you there with the hexagons.
That's got to be something.
You're obsessed with the hexagons. Dude, I know. It's going to pay off for you, I guarantee it. They do this little Brady Bunch
thing, like the whole thing, even the little inside of their house and the wooden stairs and all that. I mean, her outfit is straight out of Marsha Brady's closet. Marsha. Yep. Like, she looks just like her. They did the hair like her.
But
yeah.
But yeah, so Speed and Wiccan, they discover that they are Scarlet Witch and Vision's children, and they actually... they were created by her hex powers, and the way that she made them actually real beings is that she used a sliver of Mephisto's soul. Mephisto is the devil.
Yeah, the devil. What is the quote? The devil's in the details.
The devil's in the details.
And then she goes, "That's not the only place he is."
And so it seems like she's kind of just saying that to refer to the fact that the leader of this group of women is kind of a bitch. And that's just
Dottie.
a little joke there. Yeah, Dottie. Yeah.
Well, what is it? Everything in this town revolves around Dottie or something.
Yeah.
Dottie's the key to everything in this town. That's what it is.
But it is kind of an out of place, kind of weird. It's just weird. It's just a weird thing to say, and it's kind of a lot of people have focused on that. And I believe that it does have to do with Mephisto. Maybe. I mean, not wholeheartedly. I'm just throwing that out there that if we're talking about the devil, the very next episode, she gives birth to 2 twins, and those 2 twins are part of Mephisto, and one of their storylines is that Mephisto hunts them down, and he tries to consume them to get his pieces of his soul back.
Right.
And of course, good triumphs over evil, and they destroy Mephisto.
This reminds me of a Clayface story, actually, where a part of him gets separated and turns into this girl that Robin, Tim Drake, the youngest Robin, really has strong feelings for. And in the end, Commissioner Gordon's like going through this rap sheet for what we're gonna book Clayface for. And Robin's like, murder, because he like killed my friend. Because he had to take him back in. And that story, good does not win at all. And I think maybe in this one too. But in this story, good can't even get anything done. Like, Vision is like, stuff is wrong, Wanda. Right. You see that. And there's that little skip. Like, she doesn't even let anything come to fruition. So I gotta
backtrack though, because I talked about the twins, and I told you about the bad twin, and then I went into Mephisto. So the good twin, the more fun, Wiccan. Interesting twin, yes, is Wiccan. Wiccan essentially has a lot of Wanda's powers. He's a very witchy whatever person. He originally called himself Asgardian because when his power because he's a mutant. He's a straight up mutant.
Right. Like
when
Mama.
His powers like Mama, but not in this world, but yes. So when his powers first manifested, he basically just flew around and shot lightning everywhere and made force fields and stuff. So he kind of modeled himself after some kind of Thor knockoff. So he called himself Asgardian. But then, as he started to become more aware of what he was capable of, he changed his name to Wiccan because he realized he was more of a witch and that he was actually Scarlet Witch's child. Him and Speed discovered they were twins. They made that discovery together. They were Scarlet Witch and Vision's children. So so Wiccan is a pretty goddamn interesting character. I mean, he's a very, very powerful sorcerer. His little caveat is that he has to say the thing that he wants. He has to say, I want to be in Wakanda, and then he can travel to Wakanda. He has to say
he doesn't need to Bifrost or anything.
His intent. He has to speak his intent, and then he can make that thing happen.
Wanda seems that way too. No more mutants.
I guess, but that's kind of the way that he works. If he can't hear his own words, then he can't make his spell happen. That's
like Zatanna.
One of those kryptonite.
Zatanna, they have to speak it, right?
There you go. So that's the thing with him. Another big thing is that he eventually, in one of those like, we're gonna give you a glimpse of an alternate future kind of thing. It turns out that he becomes the new Sorcerer Supreme. So he has the Doctor Strange level of power. I mean, at the moment we're talking about Wanda, who kind of dwarfs Doctor Strange's power in certain ways. So it would make sense that her son is that fucking powerful. But yeah, in a possible future, he's the Sorcerer Supreme. Loki himself says that this kid is on his way to becoming a god. Like Wiccan has the potential to be a next level magic user. We haven't seen enough of what Doctor Strange can do yet. We obviously haven't seen enough of what Wanda can do yet. But it's kind of setting us up in a way that it's like, well, when this kid comes out, he might destroy all of them. Wiccan has that potential. It depends on how he's written. Sometimes they write him mostly as just a kid, you know, and whatever. But Wiccan's cool. Another great thing, culturally, is that Wiccan is homosexual. And he's one of the first gay characters.
Oh, okay.
Like in comic books, like Wiccan. Him and Hulkling, who is a half Kree, half Skrull hybrid. That he's a shapeshifter.
Okay. Half Kree, half Skrull, yeah.
Yeah, he's a green, big fucking dude. They have a relationship and it's beautiful, and then they get married and they do all that stuff. But like, that's a big deal. That's a thing that the MCU will weave into their stories, I'm sure, if they decide to grow this kid up.
Yeah.
So Wiccan, speed, cool. He can run really fast. He's basically going to be, I think he's just going to be our Quicksilver replacement, if they want to do that. And then and Wiccan has like a big path ahead of him. He's got a lot of things that he can do in the future if they decide to grow him up and make him the character he's supposed to be.
I want to talk to you about soap. I know that's weird. They have a commercial for soap in this one.
Soap.
I want to ask you, S.H.I.E.L.D. was mixed in with Hydra in this universe.
Right.
And S.W.O.R.D. is like a cousin to S.H.I.E.L.D. So
Right.
they have this commercial, not only is the Von Strucker thing, she has her trauma with Iron Man and the toaster, but they do this soap from, what's that show? The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Where Coulson is explaining, like, I stopped using the soap, and that's when I figured out that Hydra has been using the soap to put stuff in our hands, in our skin, that makes us think this place is so great. And they say something in that commercial about the soap. I don't know, that's the fruits I'm thinking of. It makes it easier for them. I love these one-liners, though. They're like, we let the ladies keep tabs on their, like, babies using the fruit because it makes it easier for them. And they were like, are you tired of your husband? Are you tired of burning your husband's toast?
Yeah.
All those little one-liners.
Yeah.
But I'm curious, like, what do you think about this idea that Hydra has their fingers, their fingerprints in S.W.O.R.D.? Like, is it just a Wanda trauma thing? Am I reaching for it?
I honestly feel like you're kind of reaching, but I mean, I don't know. We don't know anything about S.W.O.R.D. as an organization in this MCU version of S.W.O.R.D. yet. We don't know anything. We just know that they're kind of watching them. But I feel like Hydra coming back is too easy. I think Marvel's smarter than that. Hydra is the easiest bad guys. They're a bunch of Nazis.
Escape to a world of your own. That's what the commercial said. Escape to a world of your own. That's why I'm hung up on that.
Well, yeah, I think the commercials, I think the commercials just kind of reflect her past and give us just little nuggets, little Easter eggs of the fact that there's a bigger picture going on. Don't forget, this isn't just a stupid sitcom. There's a bigger picture.
Yeah, I mean, they still do the sitcom part well. Again, like separating that dark stuff. Like, they had a joke in here where Dottie is like, "Do these earrings make me look fat?" And then the power goes out, and he's like, "Oh, thank God." Now, in a normal setting, when the power goes out, you can still answer your wife's question. So what is it about? Like, did the lights go out on set? Yeah, like, is it that simple? Or is it like the lights went out on set or something like that? Like, you know, there's weird moments where things aren't funny, but they're laughing. Like the hedge trimming.
That was really big.
Unnerving because he's not okay.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, the laugh track is there.
That was really big this episode. There was a little bit of that, the original 2 black and white episodes, where I was like, the laugh track seems to be... It's like they're laughing at them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like they're laughing at them.
Weird. It was very obvious in this episode that it was like... They're straight up laughing at things that are not funny. Like, Wanda's in the middle of giving birth, and like it's like a fairly intense moment. Like, the paintings are spinning in circles on the walls and stuff, and that's, I guess, kind of funny. But there's like these kind of like intense moments where us as viewers are like leaning into the TV and being like, what is this? And the audience is just like, this is great. La la la, slapstick comedy and stuff like that. So that was obviously intentional, and Yeah, it's a very interesting choice. It's like the audience is laughing at Wanda.
Right.
Sometimes.
Or like the characters. Yeah.
Right.
When stuff is happening to them.
And this episode just really started to, it became apparent that things are kind of unraveling. People are like waking up in a sense. A lot of people are breaking character and talking about, they were talking about, oh, we're all, I guess, trapped is what he was trying to say. The nosy neighbor and Herb. Like people are kind of breaking free of the spell.
Yeah.
And
the music at the end, I think, gets into that. Cheer up, Sleepy Jean.
Sure.
It's suggesting like an enforced sleep that they've got going on. And then
Right.
like, oh, what can it mean? It's like, we're trying to figure it out.
Right.
Because, they do this stuff on purpose. But yeah, I completely agree. Like,
yeah. And it's still, of course, it's still unclear exactly how much control Wanda has over the situation. Like, if this is entirely a situation of her making, she's obviously like losing a grip on what she's trying to do here.
I'm not convinced she's entirely... Well, obviously she's not in control, but I'm not convinced it's entirely her. Because the people in town are like... What did they say? It's so hard to escape. This dude, Stan... Nielsen is like sitcom ratings. It's like the Nielsen rating system. It's called,
you're
right?
Yeah.
And then Stan, of course, the wife later, like, I don't know, our boy Stan Lee or something. And I will say about the wife, she only said the line about the two-piece, but I need her back.
She was incredible.
She's like Frozone's wife, Like, all she was like, she's just like, where's my super suit?
What am I gonna do about my two-piece or whatever?
Yeah, I bought my two-piece. Yeah, but he's like, my car stopped working at exactly this moment, and he openly is like, I can't escape. And so too is Agnes, who I think I've seen stuff from a character called Agatha Harkness. She's like a witch.
Yeah.
She had some pendant on, which is like Mother Maiden Crow. People are drawing a connection there. Her name is so close to this other character, so maybe.
Right.
But, she's Step Brothers
I'm
lady
not
to
totally
me, man.
convinced that she's somehow in on it. But maybe, because we've already did the thing that Monica Rambeau seemed to be a normal character in this world, and it turns out she's in on it.
I mean, you think they sent her in? Like, did they show up at the end? Because they're like, oh shit, our girl's out. We gotta go get her. What
I think
happened?
that's totally what happened.
Okay,
I think that's
because
totally
she
what
says,
happened.
"I don't know." Wanda's like, "Who are you?" She's like, "I don't know."
Yeah, that's the question. Is was she under some sort of spell, or was she truly acting? That's the question for everybody. Because when he's talking, when Agnes is talking to Herb, at the brick wall and stuff.
Herbie, calm down, Sherby.
Yeah,
just
Sherby.
pick a card.
When she's talking to him, they're obviously talking regular, and they're talking shit about Wanda and what's going on inside the house and how they're unsure about what's happening. And then everything's completely normal, and then she turns on that era accurate accent and the way to act.
Yeah.
She turns
Facial
it back
expressions,
on.
yeah.
So are these people actually under some sort of spell from Wanda or from whoever, or are they just acting this way? Is the whole town like sword agents, and this is all some sort of experiment on Wanda?
Yeah.
I
went so far as to
know.
reach that maybe there's mutants out there, but it doesn't seem plausible that they'd have those actors continue that way, like long term.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, there's still a lot of questions.
It's
there.
crazy. I mean, and the I gotta mention the aspect ratio change. Like, what a brilliant way!
Yeah.
What a brilliant way to show that we're going from 70s sitcom to the modern age. We go from perfect square, whatever you would call that.
TV.
The screen is perfectly square, like old box TVs, and then we go to widescreen. We bring the sides in and the tops in, and we go to widescreen.
Separating. It seems to be separating worlds. Like, don't forget, the show is actually a show in something else.
Right.
And something is going on.
I think the person watching it is Darcy.
I was gonna ask you, how does Darcy and Wu get in there?
I think like Wu's in charge of Sword. Darcy is working maybe for them, and she might be the one watching. I mean, and isn't that bonkers? If this is really happening and everything to Wanda, there's somehow an actual TV show that other people can watch on their TV.
Yeah, I'm
how does
wondering
that
how
line
she
up?
and Wu
That's
will
crazy
get in.
with credits and everything, and someone's just watching it. Like, what's going on, man?
Well, as always, Wanda raises questions, but that is all for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed. Devin, thank you so much for coming.
Absolutely.
Until our paths cross.